Okay, let's go to a negative view on this and grab a recording. 30 seconds. Bam. Yeah, today the sun's not looking too bad, and the little 80mm is working very well. I used this scope for the 2017 eclipse when I was in Tennessee. And at the time I was using a DS16C as the camera. For the eclipse next year I'll be using the SolarCam. And I'll also be using the William Optics .91mm with another solar camera. Maybe I'll bring two solar cams. Let me see, maybe I'll have to change the amount of zoom. Right now I'm at what? I'm at so you go back to the preset and let's go okay, so let's apply this. And let me grab a recording. I do have the camera set up to color mode. But I did a white balance adjust so it made it almost monochrome. Let's go back to positive mode. Let's go back to surface. And I gotta reduce the exposure time to about 8. How about 8.5? Oh, a focus and motor will definitely help on this. Gotta put the fan on. It's a little hot in here today. And it's not even summer yet. Hey Jeff, just testing my Lunt80. I need to get an electric focus motor for it. I changed the pressure tuner cylinders from the 150 to the 80 so I could use the electric pressure tuner adjusters. I wanted to try this scope because this is one of the two I'm going to be bringing to the eclipse. Because trying to bring the 150, that's not going to happen. Yeah, and I don't have a mount I can put it on. So I roughly tweaked focus. It's a pain in the butt to try to adjust focus while you're staring at the sun and the monitors 10 feet away. I could hook up a DVF with an HDMI cable and see if I could get that to work. That would help. But it's real windy today. But I'm liking the view that this little 80mm provides. What scope did you borrow from Anthony? Was it an 80 or a 60? Yeah, it was a 60. Okay. See, I wanted to try, let me go back. That's the full view, no focal reducer at the native f, I guess it's 6 for the scope. For the last eclipse, I used a DS16C in this scope. And I think the solar disk was a little bit smaller. But I think this gives me more than enough. It's a double stack. Oh, Anthony's was single. Okay. I had contacted Bob Luffel of Alpine Astro last night to see if he ever got Botter's new Herschel Mark II wedge and the new second generation calcium filter. And he said yes, they finally arrived from Germany. So I'm going to order one of each so I'll be able to do some calcium K with the 91mm. I might be bringing a second SolarCam with me to the eclipse. Because back in 17 you couldn't run 2 occasions of MallinCam Sky at the same time. So I ended up using a 16C in the Lunt80, and I used the Star Vision in my Orion ED80 with a white light filter. But this coming eclipse I'll be able to use 2 solar cams. I'll have to somehow label them SolarCam 1 and SolarCam 2. like that trick of just being able to play with the histogram and get proms or surface. Let me cut the exposure down a hair, see what it does. So I got the gain at minimum. He did? Huh, okay. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. Well, I'm gonna have to, I have almost a year to experiment with, so I have a couple of solar cams in inventory. I could take one. This is the prototype. I could get another one out and see what it does, running them both at the same time. Initially, I thought about trying to broadcast last night, but then when I looked about 10 o'clock, the clouds had rolled in and wiped out everything. That's 150. That's 100% zoom right there. Yeah, and then at 10 o'clock it was totally clouded. Rock had finally gotten a computer to work. He had ordered a new SSD drive for his Lenovo and put it in and got Windows 10 installed, and it was flying. It was working really well, so I thought he was going to try to broadcast last night. But obviously he didn't. Wait, I wanted to turn off the sharpen. Oh, so it probably wasn't good where he was. Okay. That's probably why he didn't. They almost all fit. It's going to be so much better when I have a focuser. Well, now that he has a fairly fast internet, least fast enough for broadcasting, that is. He shouldn't have issues. I mean, it's not the fastest internet around, but it's definitely better than what he had. You're right. So if it's going to do its update, let it do it before the broadcast time. It's easy to say and hard to remember. Like, I just started this one. I think I did an update earlier in the week. I got to get in touch with Faye at Lunt to find out why the pressure tuner caps for the 152 won't screw onto the pressure tuners for the 80. I ended up having to take the guts out of the pressure tuners on the 152 and putting the guts inside the caps for the 80 and then screwing the 80 caps back onto 80. I should just be able to take the caps from one machine to another and transfer them, but it didn't work. The threads weren't quite the same. Well, Jeff, I am going to sign off. I'm going to reassemble everything back the way it was. Putting the pressure tuners back on the right scopes, and if it's clear tonight, maybe I'll try some galaxies. Well, I got the 80 first, about 4 years before I got the 152, and they had an issue. I don't know if I had to send the caps back to them to have them lap the threads, whatever, to make them easier to engage, because there's like a double helix screw thread on that cap. It's not a single thread, I think. So for some reason I couldn't get the caps to engage easily, because you have to unscrew them, release the pressure, and then screw them back on. Well, that was harder than it should have been. So I'm going to send Faye Roman an email and see what she says. Well, signing off for now. Hopefully I'll be able to broadcast later this evening. Goodbye for now.